For the first time since I was 2 years old, I am 27 now. The Seattle Mariners are going to play for the American League pennant. Welcome to the Dom Skiing Channel, your one-stop shop for the Mariners storylines on Seattle's minds. And man, did everything go wrong, but did we still win? Man, I mean, I can say so many things. I've had every emotion in the book today. There hasn't been an emotion in the book that I haven't felt today, all day. I was tearing up before the game even started. Just during this game, I knew we needed everything, all hands on deck. And you just gotta love baseball, man. Anything is possible. If you have ever doubted yourself, just watch tonight's game and you never doubt yourself again. Not only did we go 1-0 every single pitch, not only do we beat Tarek Skubal for the 4th time this season, not only did we have walk-off heroics that we can tell our grandkids about. If you're as young as me, it's, we can find so many words, but we're playing for the pennant. We're going to look ahead to the Blue Jays. But tonight, I have never felt tension like that inside of a stadium. So much tension. So little about the experience and so much about the team of God-fearing men on that field. We used 3 starting pitchers. Emerson Hancock, go get the ball on Sunday. On this channel, we've been talking about him since Game 5 of this season. His first start of the season. First time through the rotation, we're on to the 5th starter. Game 5, Emerson Hancock at this same stadium. We go out, we play the Tigers, and they absolutely stomp him in the first inning. He's throwing sinkers that are just curving right into the batter's bats. Tigers, man, they played a great series against us, but we did come back on that Wednesday game. And in this game, I have to say, Dan Wilson had such an excellent managerial game. Not only do I love, the decision to bring in Spire, I still applaud that. I don't care if Kerry Carpenter hit the 2-run bomb, got the Tigers their only 2 runs of the night on that at-bat off of Gabe Spire. Gabe Spire, yeah, the fastball was a little bit, more in the zone than you'd like it to be. But Kerry Carpenter didn't get out all night until, I think, that final inning, the 15th inning. So, you really cannot be mad at anything that happened. You look at everything that happened, it's hard to even analyze it in a game like this because it's so emotional. And we have earned everything to this point. If that's not earning it, I don't know what is. I'm having visions of myself having 1 million YouTube subscribers. And I can get 1 million YouTube subscribers. You can too. Everybody, you can work for the Mariners someday. You can, anything is possible. The odds of this game going into the 15th inning were so null and void. Nobody's predicting that, right? And what I said earlier is, why it's hard to even make predictions, or even pay too much attention to predictions, right? This isn't a normal regular season game where, we look at how many strikeouts they're going to get and stuff. This is the first time in, all season that I haven't even pulled up Baseball Savant, before I make this video. I'm just speaking to you guys from the heart. And when I was in that stadium, what was making me tear up before the game was the fact that my 2-year-old self was with me. My first memories, all of me in my Mariners gear. And now I see we're at 115 subscribers, just one away from a 116, which is that's my favorite number. It cannot be, right? I was there when we won the AL West in 2001 with my dad. I was on my dad's shoulders. I've grown up with this. This is all I know. And we laid down the law tonight. We said, hey, can nobody come through here? We control the traffic. And, there was so much fight in this team. I stayed in my seat the entire game, by the way. I mean, I get to the stadium, right, grabbed a dog. I'm going to throw the video before this where you can see me outside the stadium, just kind of a nervous wreck. But I mean, every emotion in the book, confident, nervous, excited, scared, whatever it is, right? You feel it all. And that's God. God showed us what's possible tonight. And if you can't, I mean, this is just a night of believing. Jorge Polanco's final hit, 110.2 miles an hour off the bat. That is the highest exit velocity of the entire night. How sweet is that, right? Just absolutely laced that pitch. And man, I mean, Tommy Kahnle coming in the 15th inning. He's throwing more four-seam fastballs than he's used to throwing. I mean, when we saw him the last time, right, it was pretty much just change up. He might have thrown one or two fastballs. But tonight, right, he throws two on this at-bat only. Not to mention, right, hitting Randy Arozarena on the first pitch, the second at-bat of that inning. Let's just go through that 15th inning. Because, I mean, it's so easy to give up. So easy to quit, right? And in the words of Rod Wave, death's got to be easy because life is harder. And what do we want to be? We want to be hard. We took all the energy from the Tigers tonight, and we carry that into Toronto. And now you have a 7-game series, right? It's not like, I hate to say it, but it's kind of like, oh, we're chilling. Like, we got a 7-game series. We can get into this series, and then get out of it. But we have plenty of time to get into this series, get our ball bearings. I mean, Cal Raleigh, he's got, 7 homers in 11 games in Rogers Center. You gotta love what's going on right now with the Seattle Mariners. Oh my gosh. I am on a level that I've never felt before. Man. And by the way, as promised, stickers all off the hat. Anyway, you go look at this game. Tommy Kahnle throwing 2 four-seams to JP, hitting Randy with the first changeup. Then you got a pitch to Cal Raleigh. You throw him 2 four-seam fastballs. And he puts, then you end up getting him out on a changeup, which I have to say, right, in Detroit in the middle of the year, that was the series. We don't have to remember every single pitch. We want to know every pitch. Our memory is not going to be, like Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford, where they remember every single play. We need the memory to remember that series in Detroit in the middle of the year is where we discovered how to hit the breaking ball. You go look back and look at Julio, Randy, a lot of the home runs that we hit in that series, just absolutely timing and swinging on the breaking ball exactly how you want to. Just a massive change there. And it's not to say that, right, our hitting coaches know. They've been asked before. It's like, we're not going to go and, mess with, an all-star swing, too much. But just making these little adjustments, right? Making these little adjustments. And when you are when you carry the humanity that ballpark did tonight and that this franchise does, the belief is more powerful. It just is. The Yankees, right? They know that it's a failure. Like if they don't make it to the, George Steinbrenner famously, right, made it. He said, if we don't win the World Series, it's a failure every single season. And Yankees fans are now criticizing, saying Hal Steinbrenner, right, is not. He's not going for it enough. Or it's, he should be thinking in that sense that if you don't make it to the World Series, it's a failure. Start fixing the lighting here. But whatever it is, right? Anyway, Cal Raleigh, right, puts the ball in play, move the runners over to second and third, and then they intentionally walk Julio because they'd rather face Jorge Polanco, which is honestly, credit to them. I mean, in a second, I'm going to give credit to them, but Jorge gets down in the count, swinging strike on the changeup, takes the four-seam fastball, takes another changeup, right, and Canely is really just trying to throw it all over the place on our hitters and get them to wave. He's trying to screw with our belief, and he's trying to take our belief and use it against us, as Kerry Carpenter did this series. But Jorge Polanco sticks with it, gets those 2 balls, change up fouled away, another 4-seam fastball for a ball. It was super low. And then the changeup that did it all. This is one of the biggest pitchers in Mariners history now. Tommy Kahnle throws the 6th pitch of the 117th at-bat of the game. That is crazy to say, isn't it? But man, then you've got, anyway, 117th at-bat of the game. Tommy Kahnle throws the 6th pitch changeup. It was bottom of the zone, right there at the bottom of the zone, and Polanco just puts a great swing on it. I hate to go back to the preseason predictions video, the first one that I released this year, and and I talked about this at the regular season review too, but Jorge Polanco's swing, he has that contact tool. When he slows his bat down in the zone, good things happen. And when he was the key cog in this offense, he was the machine. He was the key. He was the key cog in the machine in this offense. I can barely speak. That was, he was able to give us. You look at his. Oh my God, I can't even speak. I'm so excited. I've been waiting since I was 2 for this moment. But Jorge Polanco, right, in this moment that I've been waiting since I was 2 for, 47.9 thousand fans, all screaming. I mean, this park brought it tonight. And every time that it was just a little bit down, I kept turning around to the people near me and I kept saying, hey, we've been waiting long enough for this. What's one more inning? And I mean, that was the mentality the whole night. Obviously, the game got so scrappy, but it all comes down to the final pitch, right? Jorge Polanco laces that changeup into right field. And when you look at Jorge Polanco, and he's doing excellently, you'll see that all of his baseball savant page will be red except for the bat speed. The bat speed will be blue because when Jorge slows his bat down, the contact tool takes over. I mean, man, and Jorge Polanco is a great playoff player because he's so skillful. We've heard that he's the oldest 32-year-old we've ever seen, physically, or like he's the oldest 32-year-old you've ever seen, right? Physically. He's not a guy whose athleticism is going to win on all these different scenarios, but he's a guy whose skill can take him so far. And on this play, right, he just laced that thing into right field. Highest exit velocity of the entire night. 472 pitches in this game. 19 different hitters. So with only one pinch hitter on both sides. Is that, only one. Is that right? Yeah, because Dom Canzone came in and didn't even hit. And I have to say, that was one of the managerial decisions that I absolutely loved. You guys know that I'm the #1 Ben Williamson fan. And I thought, he would be the perfect guy to play a role in this series. Especially with Naylor, probably was going to miss a game or something, right? I thought throw Ben Williamson over at third, move Suarez over to first. We get to keep that big-time light tower power in the lineup while also getting the scrappy guy to match up with Detroit because, hey, Detroit, and this is where I give my hats off to Detroit. Detroit is one of the scrappiest teams I have seen in a long time. And I have a lot of contempt for A.J. Hinch and the Astros in 2017 and stuff, but I also see, the press conferences he gives, he knows so much about this game. Obviously, he's a good manager. He's going to win wherever he goes probably for the rest of his career because he built this scrappy team. You got Kerry Carpenter hitting leadoff and powering this entire offense. 4 for 5. Didn't get out until the 15th inning. And that's not even counting the walk, right? And that swing that he put on Gabe Spider's fastball, right, punished the one mistake, which massive credit. Tarek Skubal didn't make almost any mistakes. He goes 6 innings, of 1-run ball, only 2 hits allowed, 13 strikeouts to 0 walks. And I don't know if I've ever seen a pitch fool hitters in a game at this stadium the way that changeup was fooling us tonight. That changeup down and away to the righties from lefty Tarek Skubal. Oh my gosh. I mean, we could not get on it. We could not stay off of it. That changeup was absolutely disgusting. I mean, only 99 pitches, and he gets 13 strikeouts, goes 6 innings. 2 hard hits on those 99 pitches. George Kirby, on the other hand, gets through 5 innings of 1-run ball. And actually, he didn't allow the run, but he let Baez on, which then allowed for Carpenter, hit the 2-run bomb. And that run gets credited to Kirby, whereas Carpenter's run gets credited to Spire. But Kirby, 5 innings of 1 earned run, 3 hits allowed only, 6 strikeouts to no walks on 66 pitches and only 5 hard hits. Then you go look at, Gabe Spire. I have to say, I am with you, Gabe Spire. We stand with Gabe Spire on this channel. There is no point in trying to, you shouldn't have done this, you shouldn't have done that. Gabe Spire is so nasty. He's great all year. He is our contract killer. He's the mercenary. When we need one person gone, that's who we go to. You meet up with him, slide the picture across the table. He picks it up. He looks at it and he says, and then he puts it down. He walks out and he goes and gets that guy. He is a mercenary. He goes and gets one person. And in this case, right, it was Kerry Carpenter, and it didn't work out. And that's fine, because 2 through 5 in the Tigers lineup was, not 0 for 18, but 0 for 23. When you keep them 0 for 23, in the 2 through 5 hole in the lineup, we've seen all these guys do damage in this series. Gleyber Torres. And man, he was fouling pitches off like crazy too. He did get a walk. Riley Green also got a walk, but man, and we saw what he did. He is an absolute junk destroyer. He destroys junk pitches and this is what's so hard about playing the Tigers, is you've got Kerry Carpenter's a total fastball merchant at the top of the order. I say that with tons of respect, because he just, wrote himself into Tigers history, with these playoff performance that he had. But Kerry Carpenter's a fastball merchant, and Riley Green is a, junk pitch punisher. And so you've got these 2 lefties, and then Gleyber Torres too, right, in the middle of that, which is, another guy that's, he's a righty, but he's extremely hard to hit against now. Whereas in New York, he was such a strikeout-prone guy, kind of a strikeout and power guy. He has become, you look at his baseball savant page in 2025, he's got 100th percentile chase. He doesn't chase anymore. Whatever they've done with him on the Tigers has been absolutely a revelation. And Gleyber Torres now is really living up to that prospect pedigree that he had. And Spencer Torkelson, a guy who you ask, I remember the Savannah Bananas had a video the other day where it's like, who's the best player you've ever played against? And a ton of them said Spencer Torkelson, when he was at ASU and they were in college, and they're saying, he was breaking Barry Bonds' records at ASU, right? He was the number 1 pick. But he has such generational light tower power, and he's just a guy that you can keep off balance. And the Tigers have really protected him in this lineup. He's a guy who's gonna have to make some improvements, because he's been really, really streaky this year. But he's also had the best year of his career, and he's been extremely effective for the Tigers. I remember watching him in the series that the Tigers played here at the beginning of the year, and he looked amazing in that series. His plate approach was really looking at way more advanced. His swing and his swing decisions were at a point where, he would start off the year so hot, and he had some really, really hot stretches. The Tigers, definitely have a lot to look at going into next year. And although you look at this lineup up and down, you don't see, Riley Green, an all-star. You have guys who make all-star teams. There's really not a generational hitter on this team. It's Tarek Skubal and, you know, a few other pretty good pitchers, Jack Flaherty, you know, Casey Mize, stuff like that. And another guy I have to give credit to in a second, but the Tigers they got so much out of what they had, and they were built so tough to beat. I mean, they lost so many games, you know, all that's talk about, you know, the worst stretch in baseball, the worst collapse in a division, but they came back and answered, you know, those questions. I want to break down the swing strikes a little bit because, you know, that's one of the main things we do here. That's one of the most revealing things that you can look at on the website Baseball Savant. Tarek Skubal, 26 swinging strikes on 99 pitches, 12 on 44 four-seam fastballs, and 14 on 33 changeups. And that changeup, by the way, average exit velocity, 79.6. And I think that was actually we only made contact with a changeup one time. He threw it 33 times. We made contact with it once. And a lot of it was out of the zone. But when it was, we were chasing it. I mean, 14 swinging strikes on 33 changeups. Again, I've got to tip my hat. And the four-seam, 12 on 44. Then he didn't get any swinging strikes on 14 sinkers, 7 sliders, 1 curveball. But those were all really him throwing stuff away, and it was all about the approach to set up the changeup and to set up the four-seam fastball. And man, did he keep us guessing. 83.2 mile-an-hour average exit velocity on the night for Skubal. He totally avoided the hard contact. The ball was flying early in the game when it was the roof was closed and the weather wasn't bad. Some of those pop-ups by Cal early in the game, foul. And Mitch Garver coming through, you know, with that fly ball to the outfield that scored Josh Naylor and drew first blood in this game. Obviously, talk about Josh Naylor getting on base, getting he hits a double. Then on second, he was stealing signs again, pointing every which direction. I'm sure the Tigers did the same when they had the runner on second, because guess what happened then? The one time that they had a runner on second, it was the Kerry Carpenter home run. So early in that game, you know, signs getting stolen left and right. And I have to say, I absolutely love it. It's an absolute chess match. I'm going to go talk about George Kirby's swinging strikes too. 8 on 66 pitches, but he was painting. He was doing the job he had to do. You know, the StatCast looks okay for George Kirby, but he was being extremely conservative. I also want to look at our other starters, which, I mean, Andres Munoz, 5 swinging strikes on 25. Again, 22 sliders on 25 pitches. He is absolutely power sliding like Sway Lee. We're going to keep that thing going. Logan Gilbert, 5 swinging strikes on 34 pitches. He was being so conservative with the strike zone. I loved it. High fastballs, low splitters, 4 splitters in a row to Spencer Torkelson. I dare you to hit it. It's like the movie Trouble with the Curve. They have, you know, there's that first baseman, whatever dude who he's scouting, and man, he just can't hit that junk pitch. That was Logan Gilbert to Spencer Torkelson with the splitter 4 times in a row. Edward Bizzardo has to be probably the pitcher of the night, because only 2 swinging strikes on 39 pitches, but man, could they not hit him. 74.4 mile-an-hour average exit velocity. And they made contact, but it was not good. Bizzardo, man, that sinker is just a weapon. And Luis Castillo coming in, getting the job done. 3 swing strikes on 15 pitches, all on that fastball. Didn't need to show him the changeup one time. And man, I think that's going to do it, because we've got so much to talk about leading into Sunday. I'm hoping that Emerson Hancock gets the start on Sunday, because, oh boy, are we going to have a lot to talk about. And, you know, I think his approach has gotten dialed in over this year. That would be a massive revenge game for him. You know, after not pitching in this Tigers series, you know, I mean, as they laced him in that first start of the year, you know, come back and go into Toronto and, you know, give the ball to Emerson Hancock. That shows faith in the humans in this clubhouse. And that's what I'm going to end it with, is faith, love, and hope. Because after a night like tonight, what else can you have? Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all the comments from Tigers fans calling me out for being a homer for whatever reason, right? And by the way, I mean, in that game, I said, right, everybody was stealing signs. You know, it wasn't crazy for me to say that somebody might have been tipping pitches or something like that. Obviously, there's been some bad umpiring, but you can't beat the umps, and you just got to deal with them. I like to be a realist, and man, do I appreciate all you Mariners fans who are supporting what I'm doing here. You know, I do this, you know, for myself because I love doing this, but you guys are what makes me excited to check this every single time I come home from the game. First thing now, you know, to the computer, to the YouTube. I'm going to go eat dinner. It's going to taste like victory. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Go M's.